Last question is a little controversial, but people sometimes forget there's a presidential election going on. I know that it's not exactly in the news these days, but we will elect a president in November. Question is from Twitter, uncomfortably quarantined. What happens if Joe Biden is found to legitimately have competency issues by a physician, yet he was selected as the nominee? What happens then as far as who is on the ballot?
You know, who knows? Listen, Biden, I'll tell you one of the odd things about Biden, it seems like the guy is in witness protection. I mean, what has happened to him?
Where is he? Where's Joe?
I mean, can you recall in your lifetime ever seeing anyone effectively wrap up a nomination and then disappear? I mean, I guess he did what was it, a Facebook live town hall that he like wandered off the camera and
It didn't go very well.
Look, I like Joe personally. He's an affable guy, but you know, I got to say he has slowed down more than a step or two. And I've heard more than a little speculation that get to the convention, Democrats are going to want to pull the plug and abandon ship. I don't know if that happens. Under their rules, the superdelegates, you know, it's interesting that Democratic Party believes in the state and believes in government, so they're much more authoritarian. So they have these things called superdelegates, which are elected officials that are basically free to do whatever they want at a convention. Republicans don't have superdelegates. Yeah, no, it's interesting. Republicans don't have superdelegates. Republicans actually follow the votes of the people. The Democrats have a much more top-down, power-driven system. You know, I've heard interesting speculation about Andrew Cuomo suddenly becoming the dark horse candidate. I don't know. I will say this, the longer this crisis continues, the more the question for every voter is going to be, what leader do I trust to lead this country in a time of crisis and calamity, whether it's a public health crisis or an economic crisis? And I think that issue is likely to become the only issue for the Democrats at their convention and the only issue, or at least the dominant issue, in November in the general election.
Of course. I mean, that's the theme that everybody's talking about is unemployment, and it could affect a restaurant worker, and it could affect the Democratic nominee for president.